Welcome to the Daily Tanya. Today is Thursday, the 23rd day of Menachem Av. Let's begin with tzedakah. Gedoyle tzedakah, shemekareves es geula. Tzedakah brings Mashiach closer. So, we're in the middle of this beautiful letter that the Rebbe, in letter 7, in Igeret HaKodesh, the Rebbe brings beautiful explanations of our purpose in this world, that each and every one of us has a mission as a part of Hashem, as we explained, and that is through the mitzvahs, through the many, many mitzvahs, as we explained yesterday. Why so many mitzvahs, so many commandments? Because each individual neshama, we explained, God's light comes down to the world, is divided generally into 613 parts. And then there is subdivisions, and every person every neshama is connected with a certain part of it. Although we need to, of course, observe all of the Torah mitzvahs, yet there is a specific part that belongs to each individual soul. And we explained that this began from Adam HaRishon. Adam had a soul that included all of the souls of the future neshamas. And this, the Alter Rebbe now goes on to explain, is also something we find by Yaakov, one of the patriarchs, Jacob. And the Talmud says that the beauty of Jacob was like the beauty of Adam. And he goes back to explain also when Yaakov built the altar, he called, it says, Vayikra Lokei Lokei Yisrael. He called him the God of Israel. And we spoke about it. This was the question we asked. What does it mean? Who called who? So that we'll explain later. But let's begin with the story of Yaakov. What does it mean when the Talmud says that the beauty of Yaakov is like the beauty of Adam? It says also in the Talmud that when Yaakov saw in the dream the ladder that stands on the ground and it reaches up to the heaven, the head reaches up to the heaven, and the angels go up and go down. It says the Talmud something very interesting. It says the angels were gazing at Yaakov's image, and the image of Yaakov the way it is above, and the image of Yaakov the way it is below. What does that mean? Why were they gazing at Yaakov? What did they see? What were they so amazed about it? So, what it means, the beauty of Yaakov. Why are we talking about beauty? Like the beauty of Adam HaRishon. Adam HaRishon, he was created in a perfect way, obviously. He was handmade by God, and everything was perfect. Which means that his physical and spiritual, intellectual being, everything, it was in perfect harmony with the way God created it. And when we're talking about beauty, we're talking about this harmony between the spiritual and the physical. That the physical appearance reflects the spiritual perfection that there is by Adam and there is by Yaakov. Now, what happened after Adam committed the sin, that perfection was somewhat messed up. It was as a result of this sin, this perfect harmony that was with the godliness that is in every part of the person was lost. And throughout the generations, it took time to come to this perfection. Yaakov reached that perfection the perfection of Adam after he reached the perfection of Adam the way it was before the sin. And we continue to do our work in every generation to continue to perfect it. But this is what it means that Yaakov, his beauty was similar to the beauty of Adam, talking about the spiritual beauty, which is also reflected in the physical appearance. And this harmony between the physical self and the spiritual root of the neshama, of the soul, is connected with the Torah. Just there is the image of God above. There is the image of this godliness within the Torah, which comprises the 613 mitzvahs corresponding to the 613 organs and the sinews, the limbs and the sinews. And this is why Yaakov was so perfect that, unlike Abraham and Yitzchak, every part of him was perfect. Abraham had other nations coming out, Ishmael. Yitzchak had Esav coming out. Yaakov, every one of his children continued, and he's the father of all the Jewish people, and only the Jewish people. So this perfection was given to each and every one of us, and our job is to work on this perfection. That every part of ourselves, we should be considered, we should be able we should be worthy for the title to be called Adam. Adam means the man, which means similar to the one, Adamela Elyon, similar to the one above. And that's what the Alter Rebbe says. This is what is in every one of us. We have that ability to reach that harmony between ourselves and our spiritual source. And this harmony is done through working on every mitzvah. When is this harmony felt? Sometimes we do so many mitzvahs, we don't even realize what we do, but it is felt specifically during the prayer. So let's see inside what the Alter Rebbe says. Says the Alter Rebbe, Vehine, Shufre de Yaakov mein Shufre de Adam Arishon. Now the consummate beauty of Yaakov resembles the consummate beauty of Adam. Shetikein Chet Adam Arishon. For he rectified the sin of Adam. But his soul too comprised all of the souls of Israel from world to world, meaning both those of the revealed world as well as the concealed world. So this is just like we learned yesterday that Adam Arishon, his soul was a general soul that included all souls. Yaakov as well was a neshama klalis, a general soul that includes all the souls. Not only that, it says every generation there is the leader of the Jewish people. The leader is called the Nasi, the prince, the leader. Nasi, the leader of the generation. And as the Rebbe points out, that Nasi, the word Nasi, has the abbreviation of the acronym of Nitzotzo Shel Yaakov Avinu, a spark of Yaakov our father. Because Yaakov specifically, of the patriarchs, he's the one that includes all of the neshamas of the Jews, and the same thing with the Nasi, the leader of each and every generation. In addition, says the Alter Rebbe, moreover, he was a vehicle for the Torah in its heavenly state, which is referred to as Adam. What does it mean that he was a vehicle? So just like we just explained, the fact that he was so in harmony with every part of himself, completely to the one above. So he was like a vehicle to the Torah, meaning just like a vehicle, like a wagon, does not have its own will. It's completely nullified and follows exactly the will of the rider. Yaakov became a vehicle to the Torah, that every part of the Torah, it became so in harmony with him and connected with him, like there's nothing else. And the Torah is referred to as Adam, man. This we learn from the verse that it says in the Pasuk. It says in the Torah, it says, Zois HaTorah Adam. This is the Torah Adam. Of course, it has the simple meaning, which talks about that Zois HaTorah, this is the law, Adam ki yamas ba'olam, man that dies in the tent, and so on, talks about the laws of impurity. But there is the different ways of learning the Torah. The Torah doesn't have any vowels and doesn't have any punctuations and any commas or periods, because the Torah is above it. And one of the ways of learning it is Zois HaTorah Adam. This is the Torah Adam. The Torah is referred to as Adam. As it is written, and on the likeness of the throne, there was a likeness of the appearance of Adam. This is from the mystical teachings in Yecheskel, in the prophet. So, in the latter term, as is explained in the Kabbalah, refers to Torah. And the throne, the image of the throne, was the image of Adam. And another verse the Alter Rebbe brings, which shows us that this is something that was in Yaakov. It is likewise written, and this, Zois, this was the custom in former time in Israel. This is from the story of Ruth. And again, here we're learning it also in the way of Drush, that Zois lefanim beIsrael. Zois, we just said, refers to Torah. Lefanim means in the past, but lefanim also means in the inside. BeIsrael, in Israel, in Yaakov, which is called Israel. So the Torah is inside Yaakov, inside Israel, the patriarch. Ein Zois ala Torah chulu, and Zois refers only to Torah. This comes from the Zohar, which means shoisa klulo mulubeshes ben nishmas Israel saba klulo mekol haneshamas. For the Torah was contained and vested within the soul of Israel, the patriarch, which compounded all the souls. So the quoted phrase refers both to Yaakov in the mortal world and to his supernal source, which is also known by this name, Israel Saba, Israel the patriarch. So, which means that Torah is included in Yaakov, because he is the perfect image of a neshama like Adam. The Torah is included in him, and in him as the source of all of the neshamas of the Yidden. And now the Alter Rebbe goes back to the question we asked before. When the Torah says, after Yaakov built the altar, it says, and he called it Keil Elokei Israel, the God of Israel. And the Alter Rebbe explains, what does that mean? He called him Keil Elokei Israel, that he became the God of Israel, because it was shining after Yaakov perfected working and serving Hashem in that way. It was brought about the revelation, Elokei Israel, the God of Israel. The revelation of this became in Israel. This is the meaning of the above quoted phrase, and he called him Keil, God of Israel. Keil Lashon Amshachas Ha'ara Ma'ir Soiboch Me'elem El Hagilui. Since the name Keil denotes the divine attributes of Chesed, which finds expression in God's desire to communicate his hidden light. So Yaakov's use of the name Keil signifies man's calling forth the radiance from the infinite Ein Sof light, which is clothed in the Torah, from concealment to manifestation. That's what this was about. So that it should illumine manifestly in man's soul. Thus too it is written, Keil is the Lord, and he has given us light, indicating likewise that the divine name Keil connotes illumination. So this is what it means. Yaakov calls it Keil Elokai because he is the ultimate perfection of the neshama of Adam, bringing the light of the Torah in him to be in a revealed way. Thus, when we say that Yaakov called God Keil, he called Hashem Keil, we imply that he called forth and drew down into his soul an all-encompassing revelation of the infinite Ein Sof light that comprises all the particular details of the Torah and its mitzvos. So this is by Yaakov. Continues the Alter Rebbe saying that that's exactly what our job is as well. Ve'acharov kol yishrei leiv, and after Yaakov, the infinite Ein Sof light shines openly into the souls of the upright of heart. Yishrei leiv. Yishrei means like straight of heart, upright of heart. What does it mean? That when we follow the Torah mitzvahs, we do it with a full heart, not just intellectually, but connecting it fully. We follow the Torah mitzvahs, then it shines in our neshama in a revealed way. That it shines openly into the souls of all the upright of heart who engage in Torah and mitzvahs. The upright of heart alludes to those individuals with whom the godly illumination found in the intellect descends to the heart, where it inspires them with a love and awe of God. So these spiritual emotions, in turn, add vitality to their study of Torah and the performance of mitzvahs. So now we understand one of the questions we asked in the beginning of the chapter, of this letter. What does it mean? Says the Alter Rebbe, that Matov Chelkeinu is our portion in the Torah. The divine radiance felt by these individuals is termed as our portion, Chelkeinu. As in the quotation with which this epistle opened, this is the particular godly illumination which permeates a Jew's soul through his performance of each and every commandment, and which is a portion and part of the all-encompassing illumination comprising 613 parts. So every time we do a mitzvah, we connect again with this portion of our neshama. But although when we do the mitzvahs, we don't necessarily feel it, but when a person commits to the prayer, and you put a little more effort and attention in the prayer, you can feel also the revelation of that light. The most elevating and the most powerful manifestation of this divine radiance in the mind and heart. This occurs at time of prayer, as is explained elsewhere. It is by means of the ladder of prayer that all of men's mitzvahs, the commandments, they ascend. This same ladder also serves as the conduit through which the resultant divine radiance and revelation descend to this world. So here, Alter Rebbe explained one more part of this, of the questions we began this letter with. And as Hashem, tomorrow we'll continue with further explanation. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow, as Hashem.